Hey, good morning, or whatever time you're watching this. Um, it's been a while since I've made any sort of videos, or largely been a part of any videos, because I've been overwhelmed with work, and I've been ill, which I still have a little bit of. I wanted to record a few quick thoughts on power versus authority. And this is something I've been thinking about and ruminating about for a while now, in various forms. What's prompting it this morning is I'm listening to Russell Brand on Rogan, and we're talking about all the kind of things they normally talk about, and they're talking about authority in a way where I would like to make the distinction between authority, which I consider to be legitimate and true, and power, which is manipulative and coercive and abusive, ultimately. So I see authority as good, ultimately rooted in love and proper relationship, and you could even say legitimate hierarchy, and power, which is rooted in fear, manipulation, control, coercion, violence, systems. Like, I would say the legitimate aspects of critical theory and systemic oppression have to do with power versus authority. So authority to me is fundamentally relational and personal. So authority manifests kind of naturally. There's an emanation and an emergence of I would say a spiritual reality, and then a human personal response to that legitimate authority that is synchronistic or has a synergy to it, and so it's mutually beneficial. The higher is serving the lower is the way that I would say it in relationships of true authority. So like authority would be a situation where someone willingly submits to I would say a person, because they love them and they see it as good for them. This person, which is higher in some hierarchical way, they have some sort of gifting that benefits the person lower in the hierarchy, and so the person lower in the hierarchy just naturally submits to it because it's good. You could see this in the case of like a loving parent. A loving parent who's doing what's right for the child, that's a legitimate authority, and the child should, in the perfect situation, ideally submit to that parent because the parent's loving them. He's doing what's good for them. Don't touch the hot stove. And then the child who responds to that and says, okay, I know you love me. Like, man, I don't understand this. I can't explain this. This maybe doesn't make sense to me, but I know that you love me and you want what's best for me. That's authority. Power is like a blind tool. It's like it's a system, it's a law, it's a generality that someone uses in a transactional way to impose their will upon someone else. That's how I like to think of power. So, and the lines between these can blur. Sometimes people who are in positions of power, who have earthly designations of title and authority, right? Which, this is where these lines kind of blur. Those types of people, I would say, sometimes someone in a position of authority, let's say like, for example, the President of the United States, at times they will manifest a legitimate authority where the whole of the country willingly submits to their authority because they love them and they see them and they want what's best for them. And then there are times where that doesn't happen, and the person, I'm getting a package delivered, and the person just coercively imposes through systems, through legislation, through whatever means and technologies they have, their own will upon those beneath them. Or a parent could do this too. You know, a parent could manipulatively, and because they are bigger, stronger, smarter, more experienced, they can impose their will upon their child in a way that the child does not assent to. And sometimes that's necessary. When a kid is a kid and they're going to really hurt themselves, that's true. But then it gets fuzzy when it's peers, you know, when it's all adults. Because that's, C.S. Lewis wrote about this really well with the benevolent dictator versus the robber baron. You know, like the benevolent dictator, the one who in their mind wants what's best for you. Like C.S. Lewis said, they will never cease to torture you for your own good. But the robber baron, for a while, you know, he'll just come and steal and pillage from you and then leave you alone, because that's all he wants. He just wants to take something from you. But that's actually better than the one who wants your own good, who's doing it in the power mode, in the unhealthy mode. So, I don't know. I could keep... There'll probably be follow-ups to this, but I'll probably leave it at there for now. God bless. Have a good day or evening.